boop, beep, boop. Logging in. Blue screen. Oh my god! Oh, hey guys, welcome back to more Megaman Dance Advent. Last time we let you guys off, we got Big Frost and defeated him pretty easily as being one of the few bosses in a long while that have been defeated on screen. Okay, so now we're gonna hopefully make it to where I really want to go. And please just bring me here. This transfer is the only way to mysterious life. Finally, I found it. Transfer me there, please. I've been waiting to get here. It's time for us to come back to where we came from. Where am I? Remember this place. This is a place. This is the building I first woke up in. You were locked up here. If this is where you received your Megaman preparation, there must be a clue about Albert's plans. Would you like to have a look? I don't think I've been in this building before, though. Okay, let's go check it out. Yes, please. And I think we can get our next sub-tank here, which is probably the last sub-tank that I'll be getting my hands on. Just because I don't know if I can remember the fourth one. Oh, yeah, I remember the fourth one. The freaking quest that I don't really plan to. For a lot of you who don't know who's just playing into this, my original plan to before I had stopped and took a break all this was to actually 100% this game. At least get every sub-tank I possibly can get my hands on. But I've decided against it now because since I took a break, we're in a holiday season and I'd rather not make this have this go on for any longer than I've already made it go on for. We are literally, I think 16 parts in or 17. And I'm literally just now getting here and almost trying to finish it. So, yeah. You can find out where the entire thing is, where everything is. I really don't think that I'm going to do the side quest that gives you the last sub-tank. I think, for a lot of things, 100% really just comes down to things that can be easily gotten. So here. And the last sub-tank in the game cannot be easily gotten. So, yeah, suck on that. No, don't really suck on that. No, where are you going? Don't leave the page. No, please don't. I didn't mean it. Come on, have a heart. Okay, you can get that by using Yu-Gi-Oh's doubling ability. But I already got like a 9 lives as it is, so I don't exactly need that extra life. It's where we came from. Actually, not exactly where we came from. This is a complete duplicate.
This is just like the capsule I was in.
Look at that panel. There's a message.
Now, this is becoming really good handed. We're gonna find out some information that we didn't know before. Dan 001, Prometheus, time remaining before shutdown for recalibration 24:69:24 seconds. Dan 002, Pandora, time remaining before shutdown for recalibration 24:69:39.
These are Prometheus and Pandora's capsules.
Pandora's got less time than Prometheus. Keep that in mind.
Those two were made here too?
Maybe they're what the data meant by Reploid siblings. I bet the first two Megamen Albert made were Prometheus and Pandora.
There's no doubt about it. These capsules are the chains that bound them, so that they wouldn't go against Albert's plan.
Chains?
The counter on the panel is probably Prometheus's life. It's set pretty short. They're made so that they'll die if they don't go back into the capsules for maintenance at regular intervals.
In order to stay maintained, they have to do what Albert says.
It looks like this building goes further in. There may be something left. Keep looking.
You heard it here, folks. This is what Prometheus and Pandora had to go through for their entire life. They are kept on chains so that way they don't disobey Albert. But something ain't right. It seems like Pandora and Prometheus are still gonna disobey Albert. they made it pretty clear that they hate this game. They hate Albert. So why now, of all times, do they actually disobey Albert? If this is actually how they're kept in order, why are they disobeying? Especially, there's never totally answered actually of why they disobey Albert now of all times. So when we get free, why even if they really do hate Albert, why did Pandora even try to destroy me when I woke up? There's actually a lot of answers, questions that spring up when you find out about Pandora and Prometheus and the fact that actually they're brainwashed as well. They did their you find out later on some interesting and sad information about how brainwashed they were. It's just really sad. It's really sad to say, after playing the first game, you actually find out a whole lot about Pandora and Prometheus. And first, you don't really like them that much, but then you come across this information, and you just can't help but feel sorry for them. They're stuck in this never-ending chain of having to obey Albert, not even having their own. They don't even have. They have their ability. They have the ability to think and make their own decisions, but they're not allowed to. Obviously, if you create something, you give it the ability to decide things on their own. In the end, it might betray you. Especially when we got to come in contact with robots and just the idea of creating artificial life. You gotta think about you gotta think about the consequences that lie. Wow, really? Can we charge shock this? Nope. We're stuck here unless I go to another area. Oh, or do that. That was complete accidentally. That was complete. Actually, that was on purpose. Back to what I was saying. You find out a lot about Prometheus and Pandora in the mysterious lab. Pretty much where we were was the same thing. That was the same capsule that Prometheus and Pandora are in. But a huge question I've been actually quite curious about, and this one isn't really answered, is the fact that, well, actually, yes, it is answered. Correction. It's about our identity, but it's more of Prometheus and Pandora are set to have to break at certain intervals, but they're only maintained for a certain amount of time, and they have to go back to get maintained. So they have to do what Albert says, or Albert will just let them die. It's simple as that. But my question is, why isn't Gray attached to this? From what we've seen, Gray isn't set to have to be maintained. Actually, you remember correctly, the first episode of this particular playthrough, Gray was inside that capsule, but we weren't told we had to go back in there or anything like that. We weren't told that we had to be maintained for a certain amount of time. So it begs the question of why aren't we set? We are obviously the same thing as Pandora and Prometheus, Reploids. So what's up with the fact that why is it that we don't have to be, maintained like that? Like, we don't have to. Why we don't have to pretty much go get maintained? The obvious answer to that question is actually simply because we were going to be brainwashed. And I think our brainwashing was going to be so influential into how we acted that Albert didn't need to worry about that. But I know a lot of people who have played the game already know the answer to that question is, and I'm not going to say it because it's actually spoiler to how the game's going to end. So I'm not going to bother with the answer to that question because we'll find out sooner or later why it seems like we're not, we don't have this stipulation in our programming. Man, come on. We don't have the stipulation in our programming that we have to be maintained for some amount of time. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Don't know if you heard that. So, yeah. It really makes you really feel for Prometheus and Pandora in the terms of they had to live through this entire thing. Pretty much why they hate the game of Destiny. Why they do what they do. And it's really messed up in a sense that they had to live their entire like built lives on this thought that they can't do what they want. They don't have freedom, pretty much. Like they don't have a life. They're bound to what Albert tells them to do. That's how you get that sub-tank. Just to let you know. But yeah, I feel bad for them. I really do. I mean, I probably shouldn't because of how much of a dick they've been to us. But I mean, they had their reasons. You can't really blame them for how they acted. Or how they act, because I mean, wouldn't you do the same thing? I mean, you don't know how you would act if you found out that you had to act a certain way to keep your life. And pretty much, I can pretty much guarantee it's pretty much what they were told when they were born. They had to act a certain way. They were influenced by the world.
Hey, that's as far as you go! Nobody gets past this point! I'm just following Mr. Albert's orders!
So, he's hiding something in here, too. Well, you're just gonna have to get out of the way.
Hey, do you think you could just ignore me, HedgeShock? You've got to face the penalty, a shocking penalty. Mr. Albert's orders are absolute.
Now this is an interesting battle. As you can probably say, what's so devastating about this little guy? He can't do anything to us. Oh, you're about to understand why he is really dangerous. Or she, actually. At a certain point in this fight, he'll do this. There it is, the water. You don't want to be in that water when he does electric attacks. I can almost guarantee you that. You definitely don't want to be in the water when he's doing electric attacks. Because she, if I think correctly, HedgeShock is female. Being a robot, I don't know why that should matter, but I'm just trying to remember correctly. I don't want to state something. I don't want to say something obviously wrong, but I think HedgeShock is definitely female. I'm gonna get this one more try, or two more tries actually, before I cut out this fight. But HedgeShock isn't really that dangerous as long as she's not in the water. And I can pretty much say this right now. I can just spam this button. I don't know what's effective against electricity. I would say ice. I'm gonna try that out right now actually. If ice is actually effective on her. Because if that is the case, I might be able to use the Ice Dragon attack. Okay, come on. Yes, it is actually. It's a weakness. But yeah, you really kind of feel bad for Prometheus and Pandora, and you kind of actually understand why they act the way they do. Ha! Take that! I like the Ice Dragon. It follows the enemy. It's a homing projectile that follows the enemy. It follows the enemy and makes sure they don't die. I mean, make sure they don't escape.
Cheating.
Cheating?
It's just like Mr. Albert's strength.
Now that's actually some interesting information that we need to note. Is the fact that we're as strong as Master Albert. What does that mean? You'll find out later on. Because this is a complete MF on this. Capcom really is evil when it comes to Mega Man, and at least these particular Mega Man games where you find out a whole bunch of stuff. You find out exactly how evil in terms of game story that they are. Especially when it comes to finding out your past.
Is there only this one capsule?
But it's empty. There's something showing on this panel, though.
Dan 00. Is there a prototype? Final version complete. Start final phase.
There were Megamen being made even before Prometheus and Pandora? The process is finished, and the capsule is open.
Huh? There's a disc still in this drive.
Yeah, this Falby.
Very good, but all you managed to find is an empty capsule and some incomplete data? There might be some Mega Man that we don't know about. We'll analyze the data here and see what we can find. Send it with your mission report.
Well, there you go, folks. We found out there's actually some Mega Man that we don't know about. Or a Mega Man. And this will we find out that as HedgeShock, we're able to go through small areas like this. Now, this information might not be as helpful to you, especially if you you don't like to switch to HedgeShock. But actually, I got a confession. I actually like HedgeShock. I think HedgeShock is probably the fastest mode of transportation to ever find in this game. And you know, a lot of people might disagree with that. A whole lot of people might say that Ugoil is faster. I will say this much: I think Ugoil is definitely really fast. The problem I find with Ugoil is the fact that it's Thomas. We succeeded in analyzing a file in the data you found. This is an initialization key for a special transfer. It contains transport coordinate data of some kind. We were able to completely recover it using data that you sent. And this is the initiation key. Do you remember ever seeing a transfer that hadn't been initialized? A transfer that hadn't been initialized. If you find it, use that key. If you find it, it will grow. It's the data that had been split into two and had guarded it so vigilantly. Albert has presumably at the receiving end of that transfer. If I remember correctly, HedgeShock was definitely the last Pseudoroid that we had to fight and kill. So now, we gotta go to the source of all of this chaos, Master Albert. Without hopping, next episode. See, guys? Then, and I apologize if you couldn't hear me until now.